Okay, so now let's talk about how this works. So this is a three-pillar system. The first pillar, pillar one, is the plan. Pillar two is about your contributors, and then pillar three are about the customers. So let's go ahead and get into it. So in pillar one, the first three things you need to do is determine what you want to sell, the price point, and who that target customer or client is for your product or service. This really determines everything because depending on what your ultimate goal is and what you're ultimately selling, that will determine your theme, how you arrange your events, so forth and so on. Next, I like to review my numbers and set a target number of prospects needed to support my product sales. So let's say you know that for every 200 leads, you're able to monetize that at $5,000, right? You can get at least one high ticket buyer for every 200 leads. Okay, so if you want to sell, let's say 5 spots in your program, then you need 1,000 leads. Or if you want 5 clients for your service, let's say you have an agency or something like that, chiropractor, it doesn't really matter. It all comes down to the numbers. And so when you're talking about the numbers, it's thinking about what those numbers are, set your target number of prospects to support your product sales. And then that number will determine the audience reach vis-a-vis the number of contributors you need, so forth and so on. Okay. And then depending on your sales process, and if it involves launching at specific times throughout the year or anything like that, then certainly do keep that in mind. I like to allocate anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to organize these. Now, in the case of this particular one, where I got the 440 subscribers in 30 days, I was able to put that together in 4.5 weeks. So I decided on a Thursday. Actually, that screenshot says March 26th, and that's actually the day I decided to host that event. And as I mentioned, less than 30 days later, so about 4.5 weeks later, that whole thing was done and dusted. So that was quite good. So if you focus, you certainly can get this done in a reasonable time period. Okay. Pillar number 2 are the contributors. So these are your contributing partners. And so I like to find promotion partners who have audiences of people that are likely to be an ideal client for you. So once you identify your target persons, then you gather a list of at least 100, but ideally, if you have a list of 500 or 1,000 potential contributing partners, so much the better. Determine the type of event you want to host. Certainly keep in mind the amount of time that you have to allocate to it, the number of participants you seek, and again, how targeted you want to be. Certainly, if you're just targeting, I'm going to say, suburban moms, then that can be a lot easier to target, suburban moms in Omaha. Or, you can just go hit up all the play groups and the library story times, and you'll be fine. But if you're looking for a very specific genre of person, let's say, again, you're a chiropractor, and you're looking for people that have had a bike injury, something like that, and they have their T whatever, I'm not a chiropractor, but let's say their T3 is inflamed, then you're going to need to be a lot more targeted with what other types of practitioners or potential collaborating partners could work with you on that. Okay. And then I like to write up a document explaining the vision for the event and what's in it for the contributing partner. After that, I write up outreach messages that are to the point, but certainly involve curiosity. And I set up technology for the applications as well as the asset gathering. I begin my outreach and I continue outreach until I hit the target audience reach or the number of contributing partners. So, the way mine work is that every person that participates, they have to promote it to their email list. And so I keep the running tally of the total reach that we have. And so in this document, and of course you have access, this document will be linked somewhere around or below the video for you to download. And so this is an example of an information page for the exact event that brought these 440 subscribers. So it tells you the exact dates that I held it, all the details and all that, what in the structure that I did. So you can certainly have a look there. All right. And now in pillar 3, this is the third and arguably one of the more important parts, is the customers. So you want to design everything that is customer facing to attract that ideal audience. So your contributing partners were promoted to their email list on their social media so forth and so on. But ultimately, you're trying to draw in a certain type of person. And so that type of person, you're going to want to design those promotional assets for the event to attract that target customer or client. So once you design those assets, you would deliver those assets to your contributing partners. And I have a list of what those assets are. So that includes, but not limited to, the promotional events that the partners will send to their email list, the social media posts, including images as well as the copy. I like to give them a banner. They can use that banner on their emails that they send out, as well as they can place it on their Facebook page. If you're using Facebook or LinkedIn, they can place the banner there to drive additional traffic from their social media. I like to make a social media ad for the event, as well as an event headline banner to be used on all emails, as well as on the top of the website. And then I like to also create custom promotional social media posts for each contributing participant, so it feels very customized and bespoke to them. And then with that, I set up customer-facing technology assets, including things like the registration page, the waiting list page, and then a final event access page. And so I've also placed a link here to the exact registration page, again, of this event as a case study, so you can see exactly what it looks like. So this was my banner. This is what the page looked like. I did a video, and then it just explains exactly how it works. And again, this was customer facing. So these were all my contributors. They all contributed free gifts as part of their participation. And so this is what the exact registrants were able to receive. And so you can certainly have a look at that. And again, this is linked here in the research document. Now, in terms of how you can structure your event, you have a couple of different options. You can do individual list swaps. So let's say if you had a larger email list, then you can basically do a 1-for-1 swap. So, you promote my stuff, I promote your stuff, and we both get unique impressions. You can do attention events, which are certainly what we're discussing here. And so I like these because, again, these are tailored online conferences on topics that my ideal client or audience will be interested in. So you can do this as a bundle or a gift mall. With that, there are no interviews. However, each contributor submits a lead magnet or a free gift. You can do pre-recorded interview style summit. So in this case, the host will curate a theme and select consistent questions that each contributing partner will respond to. I find this very helpful when you're isolating on a consistent theme or positioning the host as an authority. You can do a pre-recorded masterclass style summit, which is where the contributing partner will submit a 20-minute pre-recorded masterclass on their signature topic. And then, of course, you can do a live summit, which has the highest engagement because it is live. Just a quick note, I do like to organize my event around a theme that supports my ultimate goal or strategy. But certainly that exact strategy depends on how much time you have, again, what you're trying to accomplish, and that price point that you want to achieve. Again, the good thing about this is that the structure is very, very flexible, and it can be customized to whatever stage of business that you're in. So, I know people that just opened their business a few weeks prior to hosting one of these, and I also know very large, multiple of $1 million companies, and they do this on a consistent basis to the extent that they hire a full-time professional whose job it is to organize and execute these events. And so it can be everything from a leadership roundtable all the way down to a promotional event. If you sell, say promotional knitting and printables and things like that. So the world really is your oyster, and the level of sophistication or not that you choose to employ is certainly up to you. But this strategy of hosting these authority events and building an authority asset within your business is something that I would highly, highly recommend you consider. So again, if you have any questions about this whole strategy, or if you're feeling stuck at all, or you want to get some help implementing this, don't hesitate to reach out to me or my team. We'd be happy to help.